Well, today on Crypto Comics, I have a very unique mini-series to share with all of you beautiful people in Webtown. This is Cops the Job, a 4-issue mini-series from Marvel Comics that debuted in the summer of 1992, and it has the distinction of being the very first comic book that acclaimed painter Joe Jusko ever wrote. Joe Jusko is probably best known for painting the first series of Marvel Masterpieces trading cards, which we have actually looked at here previously on Crypto Comics, formerly Testosterone Overload Uploads. And you can go back into the comic book reviews playlist and check those out. Joe Jusko's only written one other comic. It wasn't even a full comic. It was just a story inside of a comic, and that was many, many years later. So Joe Jusko originally had done some work for Howard Chaykin independently, didn't find much success in the comic book industry, and ended up becoming a New York police officer for a few years before finally realizing that his passion just absolutely laid in comic books. And of course, on his second go-around, he became a worldwide phenomenon, a sensation, the toast of the comic book industry, an incredible artist of the highest degree. And this book is very interesting because it's something that he wrote. It's his first work at Marvel. It's, it's not his first experience in the industry, but it's his first experience as a writer in the industry. And he did a phenomenal job on this series. And I thought we would go through it a little bit because it is definitely worth a look. So it starts with this beautiful young woman who we're going to get to know very well, beginning her first day on the job at the New York Police Department. "Hey, Mom, you're doing me bad. That's where not my car." "Then how come you had the trunk open, Jimbo?" "This guy, he give me $5 to change his flat tire." "Yeah, and you never noticed that 200 pounds of primo ganja in the trunk while you was at it?" "Is that what that was? Holy. Hey, Mom, watch the wrist." And there is actually a glossary on the letters page. This is also written with Larry Hama. Pencil by Mike Harris. Inks by my favorite, Jimmy Palmiotti, a.k.a. Jimmy Palmetto. And essentially, it's the story of this young woman named Maureen Donegan, who is following in the footsteps of her father to become a police officer in a very rough part of town. And these two chumps are veterans of the force, and they, as it goes on, seem like they're pretty crooked cops, so to speak. And you find that out as you go through the 4-issue miniseries. And she's basically starting her first day on the job, and she's teamed up with Nick Caruso, who I can't guarantee was named after David Caruso from NYPD Blue fame, if you remember that TV show. But she gets partnered up with the veteran Nick Caruso, insists that, "Call me Mo," it's a very independent woman, right? And it's just essentially the story of them going on calls. But it's written by a cop, and so it really is the story of life as a cop. And if you're not familiar with how to write police officers for your comic book, this is a great place to find out how, because you can't go wrong having a real cop having written it. They start with the domestic violence case. And, she's a total psycho, and he's, a loafer. But, ultimately, nothing's going to happen, just like you see all the time in real life. Nobody's going to press charges against anybody else. And this woman gets her purse stolen, and they're going to have to go find it. But what's interesting is this character right here. Keep in mind, this is from 1992, okay? But it sure feels relevant today. "I'll let you have it, Caruso. As usual, the police are off guarding the interests of the rich, while the working class are victimized by the drug-crazy cast-offs of the corrupt criminal justice system." "Okay, Judith, I've heard it. What happened?" "Some junkie knocked down poor Mrs. Osenko and took off with her purse." And this is our social justice warrior. This is a prototype. It's a black thing with the hammer and sickle, so apparently black people want communism. Okay. "Why am I wasting my time telling you all this? You're not going to do anything. If this happened where rich people lived, the fur would be flying. Tell him, Judith. From television they learned this. Who's this KKK? What's George? See, this is the problem, is it's not written very well. You're supposed to go from here to here to here to here to here. It was a white dude, man. Had to be KKK, man. Now you put that down. KKK. They hate everybody, man. Afro-Americans, Puerto Ricans, chinks, smelly old fat white women, everybody. Chinks? Wow, who might be the racist here after all? Maybe the guy with the hammer and sickle button. You know your assailant, ma'am? Yes, was George? Was George? Why is nobody listen to me? Was George? Television, it's a cancer. Tell him, Judith. She knows who did it, and you're never going to catch him. How come police stormtroopers can beat up peaceful demonstrators at Tompkins Square, and they can never catch a mugger? Oh, peaceful demonstrators. Seen a lot of those where I'm from here near Portland. There's a lot of peaceful demonstrators beating people up. Yo, Nick, I see you and Mo are having a meaningful dialogue with our friendly neighborhood activist. Hope the bite marks on your butt aren't too deep. Arvell, great. Do me a solid and handle the paperwork on the old lady. It's a robbery now. Me and Mo got to check up on a hunch. No sweat. Muggers succeed if they get away, and demonstrators succeed if they get beaten up. Yep, see, she's already onto it. She already knows how it works on the streets with these demonstrators trash. So they go to this ramshackle, burnout, flea-bitten apartment, filled with all sorts of urban squirrels. You know what I'm saying? Oh, here's a shoe that you wouldn't drink champagne out of, and ta-da! The guest of honor, Russian George himself. He doesn't look Russian to me. That's Russian with an SH, Mo. Watch it. Cornered hypes can bite you. And you don't want what they got. 3/4 disability doesn't make up for a short life. Yeah, see, yeah, you get bit and bloodborne pathogens for everyone. Oh, Roger Clemens. It's the Rocket right there. He'll be testifying in front of Congress later today. Oh no, that was a few years back. Never mind. Officer Caruso, oh man, am I glad? What was I saying, man? You ain't looking for me, are you, man? Yeah, we got a deal, man. I can't do time. I can't do no time, man. You've been watching too many Kojak reruns, George. No deals. She just whips her gun out. Hand me the bag, George. Bag? Oh, the bag. Don't be getting the wrong idea now. It was Tyrone, man. He said, watch this for me, George. I'll be right back. I'm just holding it for him. I guess I'm in trouble, huh? Don't frisk him yet, Mo. George, there wouldn't be anything sharp or pointy in your pockets that the nice officer could stick herself on, would there? No, man, I swear. I know where a real dead body is, man. Maybe you can score some brownie points for discovering it. You lose points for uncovering dead hypes. This ain't no OD, Officer Caruso. It's a real front page of the New York Post type homicide. Deal? No deal. Oh, where's Howie Mandel? You show us the stiff, and we work on improving our attitudes towards your slimy butt. That's the best we can do. It's just down that fire escape ladder. Next floor down. You going down there? Yeah, you're coming with us. So they climb down there and look in the window. Oh, yep, I guess you can call it in now, Mo. And sure enough, we've got a murdered body here. Man, this odor's going to make me puke. Anybody got any deodorizing crystals? Yeah, right. Like we're lucky we got a spare tire in our car. Looks like another eviscerator job. Same M.O. Gutted like a pig. The cutter takes the entrails with him. He must have quite a collection by now. This makes number 4. And the summer's just begun. Give me another Rolaids, Manny. You already cleaned me out, Patty. Hey, Doc. Quincy would have solved this case before the last commercial. What's your problem? Quincy didn't have ugly morons asking him stupid questions every 5 minutes. Now shut up. What we got here is one strong wacko. Look at these gashes in the wall. A lot of upper body strength. Somebody help me turn the decedent over to get a temperature reading. Not me, brother. All right, Nick. Run the scale in. What for? Felony mopery, I don't care. He's under for the purse snatch. Let's get him out of here before the Fourth Estate shows up. Sure enough, here come the reporters to demand some answers. Is it true that you're assigned to the eviscerator case, isn't it? And that is the ME's vehicle parked out front, isn't it? I said no comment. Until the ME files his report, anything I say is pure conjecture. You wouldn't want to be broadcasting unsubstantiated rumor, would you? What would that do your chances for a network anchor slot? Cut! McGuffin, you've gone about as far as you're ever going to get in the department. You know that? Honey, I knew that 10 years ago. It's tough as nails, cops, right? They go to have a bite to eat, and she has to call her mom at home. Her mom's, got a bad drinking problem. And they get another call, of course, because this is the life of a cop. And it's the couple that they went to earlier. Here. They're at it again. Oop. They're at it again, right? Except this time, he's been stabbed. You punk! You bum! About time you got here. Get her away from him and keep a close eye on her. Take it easy. You'll be all right. Punk, you bleeding? You bum? I don't know about that. I'd get a statement ASAP. This guy's on the way out. Harry, run the gurney up from the bus. The bus is the ambulance. She did it, didn't she? Your wife stuck you, right? Nah, man. She didn't do nothing, man. It was these guys. You punk? What guys? Quit jiving me, man. Don't let her get away with this. Heads up, coming through, officer. You can... I told you she didn't do nothing, man. Just get me to the hospital. Meanwhile, in the paddy wagon, I got to level with you, man. It don't look good. If your wacko wife really did this, no one will ever know. I told you she was psycho, man. You didn't do nothing about her. I told you. So you're telling me that she did it, right? You're going to press charges, right? No, you don't understand. She my woman, man. I ain't gonna do her dirty like that. I love her, man. She don't mean it, man. She just psycho. Okay. So, meanwhile, they get another call, right? Life of a cop. The old lady in 6B hasn't complained about anything in days. She's a diabetic, and I'm afraid something might have happened to her. Well, we'll check it out. You got the key? Sure, come with me. Got any animals you might want to know about? Yeah, she got this old dog. Funny, haven't heard it yapping lately either. So they go in. Oh, and there she is, just covered in maggots, right? Nothing beats a maggot. Ugh. And she goes to check around the rest of the apartment while Nikki goes outside to call Manny to respond. We got to get a coroner down here, And then she hears something. That you, Nick? Isn't it? Nick? Oh my, and like the maggot lady's alive. And it turns out that she was never dead to begin with. That old lady was, so Mo comes home and finds her mother passed out drunk in front of the TV. This is a nightly thing for her. There's that image of her father as a cop. You wouldn't believe it, Ma. I ran down 6 flights of stairs in about 2.5 seconds. Feet never touched the stairs. That old lady was stone dead 1 second, standing up and waving her arms the next. Bulletins. We're going to go back to that. Turns out, she had been in a diabetic coma for 2 days and just snapped out of it on her own. Her dog had died about the same time the old lady went into sugar shock. That's where the maggots were coming from, as well as the smell. Everybody thought it was pretty funny except me. Good night, Ma. Dad was right. Nobody ever wants to hear about it. To be continued. Let's see what was going on in April in the cool meter. What could possibly have been cool in April of 1992? Oh, the Blue Man Group. I don't even remember the Blue Man Group in 1992. I didn't think that was till like 98, 99. Oh, look who's also really cool. Squirrel Girl. Can you believe that? They've been trying to push Squirrel Girl down everybody's throats for quite a while. Nuclear families. Yes, that's true. Nuclear families are cool. Ren and Stimpy was very popular. I didn't think it was that great. North Star exposure. Oh, yeah, because, he came out of the closet. North Star, Alpha Flight. He came out. North Star exposure. Get it? Oliver Stone. Yeah, this would have been right around the time that we were maybe Now, this is after Born on the 4th of July. This was probably right around the time of Natural Born Killers, maybe. Typo Negative, that's a band, kids. Liquid Television, that was on MTV. The Max from Image Comics would soon be on Liquid Television on MTV, which stood for Music Television. And it still does, but I don't know why, because they don't have music. Designated Drivers are still cool. Dennis Miller. All right. That's very witty. Long sideburns on men. Yeah, we did. We had the long sideburns down there. You grow them down to your earlobes back in the day. But you kept them trim, I think that fad started with maybe Beverly Hills 90210. Is where the long sideburns first started getting popular, maybe. Long bangs on women. Yeah, not a fan of bangs. The above two are courtesy of Beverly Hills 90210. I was correct. Yes, Beverly Hills 90210 made the long sideburns popular. Spontaneous combustion. Okay. Murphy Brown as a mom. She wasn't just a mom. She was a single mother. She chose to not have the father live with her because she was an independent woman. So imagine how screwed up her kid ended up being if it was born in 1992 and was now not being raised by a father. Yeah, that poor kid's life. Mom just lost her job again because Murphy Brown tried to come back and got canceled 3 days later. Corduroy pants. Yes, corduroy was really hot for a couple years there. That would definitely be like 92, 93, 94 maybe. And it started to fade out. Like after Kurt Cobain, swallowed a shotgun, it faded out. Bottled tap water. Uh-huh. CD long boxes. Oh my gosh. And fast food. Uncool. These are the things that are uncool. Murphy Brown as a mom. Corduroy pants. Bottled tap water. CD long boxes. Fast food. Corduroy pants, man, those were popular. I don't know what they're talking about. Those got hot for a while there. And then, so like, I would guess that it was a 40-year-old man who came up with this because he's like dissing Beverly Hills 902, but Beverly Hills 90210 was pretty friggin' hot back in the day. Upper Deck, action, excellent. So anyways, they put the glossary of terms, What kind of sucks, though, is that they just reprint this glossary in the next one, but they use a lot of other shorthand that cops would use that was lost on me as I was reading this. A bag is a uniformed officer. A bus is an ambulance. Central is a dispatcher. Color a day, that means the colored headband worn as identification by plainclothes officers. So it's a yellow day, that means they're wearing a yellow headband. 8 Charlie, numeral 8 designates precinct. Letter code Charlie designates sector. The fourth estate is the press. Ganja, that's marijuana. Hype, intravenous drug user, also junkie. Lou, that's the lieutenant, a cop who's a lieutenant. MO, the modus operandi, the method of operation. 95 tag, a toe tag to identify dead bodies. OD, that means overdose. We're all very familiar with that now in America. Skell, I've never heard that. That's a lowlife, not to be confused with a scroll. Radio calls at 10:04 is a confirmation. At 10:34 is an assault in progress. At 10:52 is a domestic dispute. 10:54 is an injured person ambulance case. 10:91, non-crime corrected. 10:98, resuming patrol. In practice, the 10 prefix is often dropped during transmissions to make conversation easier. Oh, Dominique Wilkins. There it is. I guess so. Tony Gwynn. Okay. So, then the story continues on in Cops the Job Part 2. Obviously, we're shooting at cops in this one. Well, we're not us, but the bad guys. We're not the bad guys. And we have this junkie here. Looks terrifying. This is why I bought it when I was a kid, because scary ass looking Rastafarian junkie. Looks like a total drug maniac on PCP. And a chick buttoning up her shirt with her little blouse, her little bra revealed there. Yeah, I'll take that when I was 12, for sure. And here we have the hype from this last issue that they arrested the one who informed them of the dead body. But anyways, this opens with somebody shooting at the cops, which, I'm not going to say that's totally awesome, but this is a totally awesome way to open a comic book. would just open right in the middle of the scene. That's always fun. And, there's a chase, and they come across this bodega, which was actually a racket, a numbers joint. And, dead bodies and people shot and trying to survive. And, here's the perp running away, and these other cops are chasing them. Stosh and, not Avarice, what's his name? I don't remember his name. Oh, Arvel. I like Arvel and Stosh. They're both good. So they're chasing this junkie, and he tries to jump over this homeless dude sleeping on the bench, steps right on his head and wakes him up. The homeless dude just causes him to fall, sploot. Dang, man, what you doing, man? Stepping on my face and all. Hey, kiss my... Yo, what? Who you dissing, man? Who you think I am? And he hits him with his bag filled with garbage, and all the garbage in his bag spills out. Carrying around that bag of garbage. Thanks a lot, pal. You just did a service to the city. Yeah, thanks a whole bunch, Skellball. I used to be a stockbroker, man. Junk bombs, man. I ever catch that milkman dude, I bust his head. I don't know what that means. Heinzucker and Dooley, what are you? We're making another good homicide robbery caller. Thanks for the assist. We might even mention you in the report, you fat stooge. And what do you think you're doing? Other, my man, que pasa? Talk to him, Heinzie. Hey, we was just saving you guys all the paperwork and stuff, you know? Yeah, I know. Take your cuffs off of him. Maybe you anti-crime dirtbags think you could still call us from the rookies. But you pull that jive with me, I'll lay you out right here in the park. You got a problem with that? Do we look like we got a problem? You need a hand getting up, Stosh, pal? You guys can't take a joke or what? Get your greasy hands off me, creep. Yeah, take a walk. Come on, Stosh. He's cuffed. This our caller. I'll take the assist. And, Heinzucker, we won't be mentioning you and the boy Wonder in our report. And so, they got this guy, and he's, this is actually a pretty good scene here. This is one of the guys from the bodega who was shot. So your name is Ramon Cintron? And what exactly happened here? Yo, it happened so fast, This dude come in and start popping people. Bam, bam, bam. He pops old Hector like it was moose or something. Dig it? I think in this man, he might be dangerous and all like that. And there's this fat lady, like she might be pregnant, and all like that. And I ain't heard no hero, and I ain't no hero or nothing like that, but you gotta do the right thing, So I says, yo, bro, you wanna pop this lady? You gotta pop me first. So the dude pops me. Man, right in the, what did you say you were doing here in the first place? Who, me? I came in for a yoo-hoo, man. There are no cold drinks in there, Ramon. Want to try again? Oh, let me think, man. What's with the extra gun, Mo? Was there a second shooter? We never saw him, Manny. He's the one who shot me, the bum. Hector shot him, and the other one shot Hector. I had you going for a while, huh? You can't blame me for trying, man. Score, pick up those score. Yeah, baseball cards were super popular in 1992. The speculative market was all about the baseball cards, but they were just about to switch over to the comic books the following year, I would say. So anyways, back here, there's this old guy who knew her pop and loved her pop, and he, I could have helped you, get on with a better precinct than down here with the slime balls type of thing. So Nick Caruso and Mo go out for drinks afterwards, but she's not going to drink. She's got to watch herself with the booze. Heredity, You got the Fourth Estate here, the Pilar from the news station, still talking trash about the eviscerator Slains, the guy that's been stealing all the guts out of people, stealing intestines after he murders them. And how the police aren't doing their job, and why isn't it happening, blah, 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 blah. Oh, and there's the two dingy cops. I gotta hand it to you. Oh, this is really sleazy here, these two schmucks. Hey, Donegan, How about a menage with a couple of real men? I'd rather swim naked through a school of piranha. I gotta hand it to you. Some guys play hard to get. You two play hard to want. Go on, laugh. Real smooth, man. Castlevania 4. Okay. I'm feeling it. So anyway, she gets home, and there's a freaking junkie coming out of her house with the television. And she whips her gun out. She's real trigger happy, you know. She loves pulling that gun out as quick as she can. Ma, are you all right? Ma, oh, that was your ma? Oh, I'm out of here. Drops the TV and it smashes. Even though I don't think that this would happen. It takes a lot to smash the screen of an old tube television. That's for sure. I have experience smashing the screen of a tube television. And it takes some practice. Unless you got a sledgehammer, then it's easy. She comes in. Her mom's just passed out drunk, you know. Where's the TV? I was watching that. Oh, Mom, you're an alcoholic. Dad wouldn't be happy. And then, of course, you know, our little Ocasio-Cortez comes out. Uh-oh, here comes Miss Cordiality 1992. Judith Bitterman, watchdog for the downtrodden masses and general pain in the ass. She likes you too, Mo. You, Caruso! Since when are you empowered to grant divorces in the state of New York? See, he pulled this gag with the couple in the last issue. Remember the guy that got stabbed? He told them that he had the permission through an obscure law to grant them a divorce if they wanted one. All you have to do is just place your hand on my badge up here on my chest, and I can grant you the divorce. Been talking to Carmen? You know she's got some loose carnations. And she also said, you know, they also said, yeah, she got some loose carnations, man. Oh, you mean hallucinations? And so he's got this running gag where he keeps talking about her loose carnations. Stuff the flowers. Carmen told me all about the phony divorce you gave her and Luis. You think poor people are just here for your amusement? She's considering legal action over not being allowed to see Luis after he was stabbed. Tell him, Judith. I was humidified. I need monetary constipation. What are you talking about, Judith? She's the one who stabbed him, for Christ's sakes. Then how come she's not in jail? Were there any charges brought against Miss Ruiz, Mrs. Ruiz? No. You're being named in the lawsuit, Caruso. What a bitch, man. Shut up, you loudmouth creep. I can't hear Pat say jack. She's watching some Wheel of Fortune. Hook. Okay, so I don't know. If this game was good, I want you to tell me in the comments below. It's very important to me. Is it as good as the movie? Some people hate the movie, but most people my age and younger like the movie Hook. But I know my parents' generation thought it was trash. And I know that in that HBO documentary they did on Steven Spielberg's life, they totally did not talk about this movie at all. They also didn't talk about Always, which is another Steven Spielberg movie. I don't think they talked about 1942 in it at all either. Maybe they touched on 1942. That was like his first commercial flop. So all of a sudden, you know, they're called to another call. Too many calls. And there's a building on fire, and they bust in, and this, oh, my babies, somebody save my babies. Your babies are still inside the building? What apartment? Where? First floor. Real apartment, save my babies. And so she goes rushing in there to save these lives. Oh, no. Birds. Frickin' parakeets. She just wasted her time saving parakeets. Oh, thank you. You're a true hero. Let's go, hero. We got to get you cleaned up before we go back and straighten out Judith Bitterman. Meanwhile, Judith's talking to Pilar here, the news lady, about all the drama. This is Pilar Gonzalez reporting from the East Village Community Action Spearhead. I'm talking to Spearhead Director Judith Bitterman, who has leveled serious allegations against the police concerning their investigation of the Eviscerator murders. Judith? Thank you, Pilar. As I was saying, the honest, hard-working, law-abiding people of this community have had it up to here with their shabby treatment at the hands of the local Gestapo. Oh my gosh, this is just like today. New York. So now what are we seeing? We're seeing that New York is a complete shithole and has been for decades and has now spread this shit across the rest of the United States and scuzz bucket pieces of trash like this woman who calls the local police force the Gestapo. Yet we've seen what these cops have been going through and everything they have to deal with, all the BS they have to deal with. And then you got this trash bag hoe, Judith Bitterman, community organizer extraordinaire. Let me just calm down. I don't want to get my toxic masculinity too worked up here. Nice touch, Judith. Not quite as colorful as baby-killing stormtroopers. But this officer, Caruso, is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. He uses his time to torment and ridicule helpless, victimized women like Carmen Ruiz, whose husband was stabbed by an unknown assailant who might just have been the eviscerator himself. Did you just assume his gender, you bitch? Why aren't they concentrating on tracking down this eviscerator who has killed 4 people in this neighborhood, 2 of whom I was personally acquainted with? Is that a fact, Judith? Get this, Jerry. You knew 2 of the victims? How come that didn't show up in the reports? Don't change the subject, pig! How do you feel as a woman yourself about the seemingly utter lack of compassion and understanding on the part of the male-dominated police force? Oh my gosh. First of all, we don't call it the police force any longer. So don't inflame the issue by using suggestive buzzwords. Man, I have a feeling that Joe Jusko liked the Orange Man. By the way, he's written these cops to stand up for themselves and get in the face of this degenerate woman from the press and this piece of trash community organizer. Okay, I'm not going to try to cost Joe Jusko his job because we know Orange Man bad. And if you don't think Orange Man bad, you're going to not be able to work at the Big 2. Or Image, which used to be the Big 3, but not anymore, I wouldn't say. You want noise? I'll give you noise, you commie creeps. In Russia, they got rid of the commies already. Oh no, Russia! Ree! Did Donald Trump and Joe Jusko plan this comic? Did they? Joe Jusko's from New York. Donald Trump from New York. Did they team up to make this comic so that we could reflect on it 25 years later? Maybe. Speculation. I'll give him some noise. And she just turns the TV up all the way. And here comes the eviscerator with a butcher knife. And he's going to stick it to her, literally. While they're outside bitching, the eviscerator takes her and the doctor had to cut it off and just starts hacking on her with a different... Doesn't seem like the same weapon, but we'll pretend it is. And just totally gets murdered here. Takes her guts. Look at that. Pulling her intestines out. How disgusting. Well, takes a Ziploc bag, though. He's going to clean up. And puts them in the bag. While they're out here bitching. And picks her up and carries her up the stairs to the roof. And then drops her friggin' off right onto the police car. And that is... pretty terrifying. I couldn't imagine being in a car when a dead body hits it, or a live body hits it. Either way, a human body hits it. And the story just picks up and keeps going from here. So if you, Chris Mullen. Oh, Patrick Ewing about to take a crappy jump shot. Oh, Clyde the Glide Drexler. That's my man. I give a self high five for Clyde the Glide. This is Game Boy. I can tell by the sepia tone that it's Game Boy. Remember when you get a copy of a comic book for 96 cents or $1.25 at your local newsstand? Speaking of which, $1.25. Speaking of which, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, man. I think this was Rick Moranis' last movie. Maybe. Man. Was it My Blue Heaven? Honey, I Blew Up the Kid? Anyway, there are 2 more issues to this, but we're not going to go through them because you should go out and check this out. If you appreciate the police and you're interested in Joe Jusko as a writer instead of a painter, pick it up. It's a good story, and it keeps going. It's real. It's real AF. I'm telling the truth here. I'm actually really surprised Marvel put this out in 1992. But anyway, that's enough for me. Please like, please subscribe, hit the ding-dong for notifications. Don't be afraid to share if you love these videos, and I will talk to you again soon on Crypto Comics.